Alright, selection practice. Photoshop, knowing how to do good selections is huge. Every assignment we do will involve selections in some way. Okay, so I still have my grid set up from last class. Yours will probably not be there, but you can just go to View, Show. I'm going to uncheck Grid. There you go, now it's gone. Okay, now let me kind of pull this out so it's going to be full screen. And I want to right now zoom in on the horse part of it. Okay, so these files are all located in Canvas. The assignment called Selection Practice will give you this document. Okay, so several selection tools. The Magic Wand tool is this first one. Looks like this right here. And the Magic Wand tool allows you to select colors. Now, if you notice this little no, it can't do it, it's because I haven't selected a layer. So right now, if I want to select the horse, I need to select horse. Now I can click on it. So anything that has similar colors is going to be selected by this. So if I click on the sky, you can kind of see this little marching ant pattern that goes all the way around this blue sky. So for the most part, it's selected all of that. Now, because of the fact that the sky kind of ends and the hoof cuts it off, I didn't select all of the sky. So in order to add to a selection, you hold down the Shift key and then you click. You'll even see there's a plus sign. So plus, okay, now that blue is selected. Click plus here and plus there. Now all of this sky area is selected. If you accidentally selected too much, like let's say I held down Shift and I accidentally clicked on the hoof, if you hold down Alt, you'll see there's now a minus sign and I can click on that until there is no little dotted areas inside this hoof. Okay, now if I went to my Move tool right now and tried to move this, you would see that it moved the sky. Most of it. Obviously there's little pieces in the main that are still there. Now I don't want to actually do that, so I'm going to do Control Z, your very best friend, and it gets put back where it was. Control Z is the undo. Control Alt Z will allow you to undo more than one step. So Control Z and Control Alt Z are great. Okay, so now if you take the Magic Wand tool and you try to select the grass, you can see there are lots of little pieces that don't get included. So I'm going to hit Control D, which is how you deselect, and I'm going to go on to the next tool. So if I click and hold, Quick Selection tool. This one allows you to just click and drag, and it tries to click on everything that's similar. So even though the grass is different colors, it is kind of a similar object. And now you can see it does a pretty good job of that. So we want to make it so we only have the horse selected. Now I could probably go like this and select and drag to get the horse. That is one way to do it. Okay, and that actually works pretty well. You want to make sure that you get the hooves. Look, though, I did get the grass because the hooves are kind of connected to it. So I can hold down Alt and try to get rid of the grass. And my computer's lagging a little, so that's not working too well. Nope. The circle of death. There we go. Okay, so I want to make it so that nothing has those little marching ants, is kind of I refer them to, except for around the horse. And that is one way to do it. Another way, though, I'm going to do Control D. Well, let's see. There we go. And everything deselects. Now let's say that this is something really complicated, but it's on a very simple background, like a white background. Or like this one. So if I take my Quick Select tool, and I'll just go ahead and Quick Select the sky, hold down Shift if I need to Quick Select that sky area, and Quick Select the grass. So pretty much I'm selecting everything except for the horse. Okay? And obviously, I'm having some serious lag here. Sorry about that. Okay. So you want to make sure that everything is selected except for the horse. So if you needed to, you do your move tool and you kind of move it and look, okay, horse by itself. Control Z. So I've selected everything except for the horse. Because that was easier. And you know, it's not always the case that this is the easy way, but sometimes it's very easy to select a white background. And then I just come up to the select menu and I do what's called inverse. Now it flips it, so everything that wasn't selected is selected. So if I use my move tool now, only the horse moves. Sometimes doing it this way is easier, sometimes selecting the object is easy. It really just depends. But if I need to, if I went, oh, you know what, I need the sky and the grass again, I'd go select, inverse again. I could just press the delete key, and there you go. So that's several ways to do selections. Okay, so now I'm going to go down to these teenagers, and you want to make sure that they are selected because you can't select things if they aren't in your layers. So right now I have horse, I need to switch to teens. And we're going to do what's called the Magnetic Lasso tool. You have your regular lasso tools, which are just hand-drawn selections. I can just draw. So if you needed to grab something and it didn't really matter if it was kind of sloppy, I could select this, go to my move tool, and now just that section gets moved. Control Z, it's back. Control D, deselects. Okay, but let's say I want to select this boy here with the backpack. So I'm going to zoom in so that I can get all of him in the screen. There's that lag again. If you hold down the Alt key, you can use the left mouse button to click and drag and move where things are. So I'm going to click and hold on this third tool down and go to the Magnetic Lasso. Magnetic Lasso will kind of latch on to whatever is closest. So if I click at the top of his head, and I'm not clicking, I'm actually just moving my mouse. But do you see how it's kind of got this string that's coming along? And if things are confusing and it's not clicking, I can actually click to place these little points by hand. But if you don't click, it just leaves them itself. So if you get to an area where the colors, like you see how the backpack kind of matches the background, I would maybe do some clicking to set the points by hand. Especially right here. Oh, see, so I've already cut off a little bit of the backpack, but it's okay. Because you can go back and fix things, so you don't have to worry if it's not perfect, because you can fix. But if I click, it leaves manual dots if I just drag my mouse along. And if you notice, if I go like this, it's going to kind of mess up a little. So you want to try to stay close, but drag along. Maybe click if you're there down here at the bottom where it's a little tricky. There we go. Come around the shoe. And I'll start just dragging it along now. When you get to places like this where his hand is kind of up against that girl, I'm going to do manual, just click with the left mouse button to, oh, see, look at that. It kind of went to his shirt and lost his hand. But I'll go back and fix it, so it doesn't matter. And it's grabbing the podium instead, or the pillar. So there are things I will have to go back and fix. But for the most part, this is a pretty quick way. Now when you get to the top, if you notice, magnet tool, but when I get to the first point, it becomes a circle. And now it is a selection. Okay, so if I wanted to take my move tool, I could move it around. Oh, that's not usually what happens. Oh, somehow I made, if you look over here, I have copies all of a sudden. I'm not sure what I pressed in the moment to make it do that, but I'm going to make those disappear, so there's only one teen. Whoa. Control-Alt-Z is a wonderful tool. Oh, and I just lost it. Well, this is an excellent reason to show you. Let me just I'm going to do a really sloppy job. In fact, I'm only going to get the top half of him, but hopefully you saw that. Okay. So now he's one selection again. He's a bad selection because I just did it really quick. But let's say that you do spend an hour making this wonderful selection. You don't want to lose it, so you go up to Select, you go down to Save Selection. I'm going to go, I'll call this Teen Boy. Okay. Now if I Control D, you know, it's gone. Oh crap, what did I do? You go to Select, Load Selection, Teen Boy. And there it is. Okay? Now, like I said, this is a bad selection because I rushed it. But let's say you have a few places that you do want to fix. Right down here, this rectangle with a circle in it, this is called the Mask tool, and when you click on it, everything that is red is not selected. Everything that is, you know, the original color of the picture, those are things, this is selected. Now you can either use your eraser or you can use your paintbrush. And if you see right now it's black, and if I paint with black, black adds, or I should say black takes away. And it's all fuzzy on the edge, so I'm going to come up here to my brush, and I want to be a solid brush, 100% hardness. That's what you want. There you go. And obviously you can use Alt and scroll in. And if you do Alt minus, well, I'll show you this in class, but there are the bracket keys right next to the P and then the little slash. Those shrink and grow your brush. Okay, so as I'm working on this, if I need to get really little detail points, I would do that. And maybe I don't want to get that black strap, it's fine. Okay, now if I switch this to white, white adds to my selection. Okay, so, and obviously I can use my bracket and make it bigger for sections that I'm trying to get a lot. And then you go back with the smaller brush to touch up the details. Okay? When you're done cleaning it up, you would just go ahead and turn this off. And now look, it becomes a selection again, and I've added to it. The legs are more there, and then there's some areas that are cleaner. I could go up to my select, do my save selection again, Teen Boy, replace channel, okay. So Control D, I lose it, select, load selection, Teen Boy. Okay, and there's the new one, there's the updated version. Okay, we will do selections a lot. If you didn't get that, it's all over again, it's fine. Just keep in mind with the magnetic tool, you can use it to trace over anything. So if I wanted to try to do her instead, you click and you drag. Obviously, when colors are similar to each other, the magnetic tool has a harder time doing it. So because her light blonde hair is very similar to that light background, it has a hard time getting her hair. Just like it does this okay because we've got a dark blue next to a light. So the more similar colors are, the more difficult it's going to be to get them out. And that's when you do manual clicking. Okay, and you have to make it a full circle in order to end it. So I have to get back up to where I started. And then it becomes a selection. Okay? Alright, we'll be doing this a lot in class, selecting things, moving around. I mean, I could go ahead and move her now. She's going to go be part of the horse. You know, I could go up and... Here, let's scroll out. Space bar will turn everything into a hand. And once again, the lag is killing me here. Lag, the bane of every computer. Okay. And I'm back on the horse on accident, so I go back to teens. And, you know, I could, obviously, if I had her full body, I could try to make it look like she was on the horse. But this is the sort of thing we'll be working on a lot, so practice, practice.